Welcome back to another Shields of Shame video, everyone. Welcome aboard. We are rolling into this series of Johnny Thomas Lee Baker of the Lovejoy Police Department and the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. We have multiple incidents that he's been involved in. You've already seen one. That's the end of that story. Now we move into the story where he went to a party where there were drugs laid out everywhere. He hooked up with an 18-year-old in the back of a car while he was on duty, while he was in uniform. This is when he was at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office, and he resigned while under investigation for that incident. Then he later went on to the Lovejoy Police Department where he was terminated, and we're going to get to that story. But now we're going to jump into the interviews. There's not a lot of video overlays for this. Every name that the post investigator drops in this interview that you're about to hear from him, we have all of those interviews. It is important to note that this 18-year-old is not a victim, and you're going to find that out in his interview. Thank you for joining, and don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so when the rest of the series rolls out, you'll get notified and you can hear all the juicy details, because this is wild. Thank you so much for your support. Now let's get into the video. Peace and love.
This is a Shields of Shame exclusive.
Hello?
Yes, I'm trying to reach Johnny Baker, please.
This is him.
Hey, Mr. Baker, this is Monica Franklin with Post. How are you?
I'm all right, Monica. Miss Franklin, how are
It's
you?
Monica. Monica's fine. Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't see that I missed a call, and we were off for 3 days. I'm so sorry.
I figured you were off. That's why I didn't expect to hear back from you till at least today or this week sometime.
Alrighty. So, do you have any questions?
My only kind of question or concern is that
Let me ask you something first, Mr. Baker. Do you have an attorney?
I do not.
Okay, so then we can talk. So basically, what happens is if there's a termination, and with these allegations, they turn it over to make it a post investigation. And basically, all I do is put together a packet, and the council decides whether or not you should keep your certification or if it needs to be revoked.
Okay.
And do you mind if I ask you some questions?
I do not. I actually kind of want to know what's going on, more or less.
Okay. So, were you given a reason as to why you were terminated?
No, I was not. Only thing I was told was it's a right to work state and I can do what I want to do. That's what he told me.
Okay, and when you say he?
The sheriff.
The sheriff, okay.
And I asked him if I was under any kind of investigation or anything like that, and he said no.
Okay, did he try to conduct an investigation?
He didn't ask me any questions at all. He said that he had witnesses, but they weren't willing to write statements or something as to what may have happened. Now, I told him he wouldn't even listen to what I had to say.
Okay.
I mean, basically what it boiled down to from what I'm hearing from other people is that I supposedly went to this party and there was drugs on the table and I didn't do anything about it. Now, I never denied not going to this house, and there was a party there, but there was no drugs of any kind on the table or anything like that. Otherwise, I would have removed myself from that situation and actually probably called my supervisor.
Okay.
And my supervisor was aware that I had went to this house, and I was unaware that there was a party going on until I got there. I saw a friend. It was after Christmas. I went to see a friend. I was there for literally 10 minutes. There was people there drinking, and I said, y'all have fun, be safe. If anybody's driving and you're drinking, don't drive. And I left.
Okay, let me ask you this. So who is your supervisor that you made aware?
It's Jay Wood.
Okay.
Sergeant Jay Wood.
What made you make him aware? I mean, normally do you tell your supervisor if you're going to a party?
No, I didn't go to a party. I was on duty.
Oh, okay.
And I said, hey, I'm going to go swing by a friend's house. I was working in the county at the time.
So you were on duty when this happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you
I said, I'm swinging by a friend's house. And he said, okay, just, don't take too long. And I said, okay.
Okay.
And then there was allegations that people started saying, I don't know what people were saying, but people were saying was there and there was drugs on the table and I didn't do anything about it or anything like that. And that's not the case. I mean, that's absolutely not the case. I never denied going to the house. I never denied being at the house. And the sheriff never wanted to hear any of that. Like, he didn't want to hear my side of what I had to say.
Okay. Do you know how all this came about?
I do not. I really don't.
Okay. Let me see something else. Is there any kind of...
You there?
I am. I'm sorry. I'm looking for the other... So, it says something about attending a party with an 18-year-old female while on duty.
No, I went to the house.
Okay, so were you...
But I wasn't a party of the party. I wasn't a part of the party. I showed up to the house. I said Merry Christmas to her and basically told everybody, if you have fun, if you're drinking, don't drive. If you're not drinking, be safe. And I left.
So this her, is she 18 years old?
Yes, she is.
Is that someone you're romantically involved with?
I am. I'm currently separated from my wife, and actually we're going through a divorce, and I am with this person.
Okay. Her name is not Lindsay or Jenna, is it?
No, it is not.
Okay. Do you think she would speak to me?
She will.
I'm going to get a little bit of a timeline from you, sir. So you were terminated on the 7th of January?
So on the 7th of January, I was told to come in Saturday morning, or Sunday morning, I was supposed to work Sunday night. Sunday morning, the sheriff called me and said, I'm sending somebody to come get all your stuff.
Sunday morning, that's going to be January.
The 6th.
The 6th is Sunday, okay.
He called me and said, I'm sending somebody to come get all your stuff. And I said, well, what is this about? He said, well, you know what it's about. And I said, well, no, sir, I do not know what it's about. I don't understand what's going on. He said, well, I'm the sheriff and I can do what I want. I'm sending somebody to come get your stuff. I said, okay, that's fine. That's what that's fine. I have to work tonight. He said, well, you're not working tonight. I said, okay, that's fine. He sent somebody to get all my belongings. He said, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow at 11. Tomorrow at 1. I want to have a meeting with you tomorrow at 1.
Okay.
And I said, okay, which would be January 7th.
Yes, sir.
That morning, I got a call from one of the majors, and he said, can you come in and speak with us at 11:30? And I said, not a problem. So I went at 11:30 and spoke with him, 11:30 in the morning on the 7th. And the sheriff said, I'm giving you a termination letter. Your services are no longer needed in Pulaski County. And I said, well, what is this about? He said, well, it's a right to work state, and I can do what I want to do. I said, well, sir, what are you terminating me for? Because it's a right to work state and I can do what I want to do. I said, well, am I under any kind of investigation or have I done anything that I don't understand what's going on? He said, well, it's a right to work state and I can do what I want to do. And I left it at that. And I said, am I under any kind of investigation? Am I going to have a problem with my post certificate so I can start looking for work? And he said, well, I'm not investigating you, but Post is probably going to. And I said, okay, that's fine. And about an hour later, so I took that letter over to the commissioner's office to turn it into my paperwork so they can start my processing out.
Yes, sir.
When I was asked what I was terminated for, I told her the same thing. He said it was a right to work state and that he can do what he wants to do. And that was it. So I left. About an hour later, I get a phone call from the sheriff saying, well, I'll let you write a letter of resignation and I'm not terminating you, but you got to write a letter of resignation. And I said, okay, that's fine if that's what you want me to do. And I wrote a letter of resignation. And again, I asked him, am I under any kind of investigation where I'm going to have a problem with my post certificate because I'm going to start looking for work? My words to him directly. And he said, well, I'm not investigating you. I'm letting you terminate so this can be done and over with. I said, okay, that's fine. And that was where it was left. And then all of a sudden I get a letter from you guys saying that I resigned in lieu of termination because of that was under investigation for the sheriff's office.
Well, that's what I have. It says that you were given a choice of being terminated or resigning, and you chose to resign. That's what I have.
And see, that's not the way that I understood what was going on.
Okay. So
if I'd have known that, I would have just let him terminate me under whatever pretenses he had, which was all hearsay,
So let me ask you, do you know who Jenna Seeger is?
I do not.
Do you know who Lindsay Helene is?
I know the name Lindsay, but I don't know her directly. I know her through Casey.
Okay. And do you know the name Bryce Boxton? Do you know who they might be?
Bryce Boxton. No, I don't know that name either.
Okay. So, I'm just going to throw this out there. Would your ex-wife, your wife, know that you went to this party?
She knows that I probably came to this house, yes. You can talk to her as well. She'll tell you. I don't keep anything from her. I tell her what's going on. We've talked about our situation, and she knows what's going on.
Okay, what is her name?
Her name's Monica Baker.
And her phone number, sir?
817
Yes.
705 2651.
Okay. All right.
And she'll tell you the same thing because she's just as shocked about what's been going on that I am.
Okay, so you wouldn't think she would be the one that I was getting at, would she have called to report this?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. So, sir, what I do is basically I'm going to compile everything because basically what I have is a letter, of course, that says that you're involved in a relationship with an 18-year-old. Well, she's legal. But I think, and then it says, of course, that you were attending a party while there were illegal drugs in plain view. So I'm going to be talking to these witnesses here. I'm going to call Monica and I'm going to call Cassidy. It probably won't be today.
Okay.
And then what I will do is I'll compile my case folder and I turn it into post. What I would do if I were you, since there's this huge discrepancy of what they're saying and what you're saying, I would actually do a written response to the investigation.
Okay.
And basically what that means is that you type it up and it has to be signed and notarized and give it, and I need to get it within 15 days so that I can add it to the case file for the post counsel to read and review.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, that affords you an opportunity to give your side of the story.
Okay. I understand.
Okay? I mean,
All right.
especially, I would have, nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, at this point, I don't even know. Look, so prior to this incident, the sheriff had asked me if my wife and I were separated, and I told him, well, sir, that's kind of none of your business. And he said, well, it is my business because I'm the sheriff. And I said, well, sir, that's really none of your business. Well, I've heard that you've been talking to this 18-year-old person. And I was like, okay, sir, again, that's my personal business, and that's none of your business. And he said, well, that is my business. I'm the sheriff, and it's going to affect how you do your job. And I said, I haven't done anything that would warrant you to need to know any of that. But if you need to know, then yes, I am separated from my wife, and yes, I am talking to this person who is 18. Well, I don't agree with that relationship that you're with that person. I said, well, with all due respect, sir, I'm a consenting adult. She is a consenting adult, and nothing of the sort is going on at the sheriff's department. So I didn't understand why he made such a big issue about what was going on.
I don't know. To me it sounded like somebody called in a complaint is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure, I do what I'm supposed to do and talk to your ex-wife, and I'll talk to Cassie, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay, but if you can get that letter to me, if you want to do that.
No, I do. I really do. I want to, and I can just send it to the address that's on the.
Yes, the P.O. box, sir.
Okay.
And just make sure it's notarized.
Make sure it's notarized. Okay,
yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'll make sure I tell you this ahead of time because some people forget. If it's typed, it does have to be signed by you and notarized. Okay, some
That's
people
fine.
forget to do that sometimes.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
And if you have any questions at all, you just give me a call back, okay? I'm pretty good
Okay.
at returning calls. I just apologize it took this long.
Now, how long does this whole process usually take?
Well, that could be extensive. The next council meeting is in March.
Okay.
So as soon as, if you get everything into me, there's not a whole lot I'm getting from the sheriff's department. So I'm not waiting for documents from them, and I'll go ahead and, I'll make these phone calls within the next couple of days. Now, have you had any kind of disciplinary action, any kind of written or anything?
Not to my knowledge. I haven't had anything.
So you haven't signed any? How long?
I have not.
How long were you
sorry.
with them?
January 10th of 2018 is when I started with the sheriff's office in the jail.
So less than a year.
Yes, ma'am.
But you've never been disciplined?
Never had any kind of verbal or written anything.
Okay. All right. I will document that. And sir, you have a good day. And if you have any questions, just give me a call back. Okay?
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye. I'm trying to reach Sergeant Wood, please.
This is he.
Hey, Sergeant. My name's Monica Franklin. I'm an investigator with Post. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I'm good. Glad. Hey, listen. I'm sure you're aware of the investigation that's going on with one of your ex-officers' certification.
Right.
And I've spoken to a lot of people, and I guess, can I just ask you a question? I'm trying to find out. Officer Baker told me that you granted him permission to leave the county. I just wanted to verify that, or the city, to go to this party.
No, that's a lie. I never did. I told him about 2 weeks prior, or hell, it wasn't even 2 weeks, prior to that I did not want that patrol car anywhere around her place.
Okay.
Or anything.
So, do you know how this originated, how this was made, how everybody became aware of this situation?
There was a party that particular night, and there were some people out there at this party, supposedly, that he had went to, and they come back and said that he was out there and that there was stuff that he shouldn't have been around there, out there.
Okay.
At the party. But he was told several times by myself and the sheriff not to be anywhere around that girl with no patrol vehicle or anything.
Okay. That answers that for me. In talking with other people, there's rumors, of course, right now there are rumors.
Right.
And Amanda Vaughn, do you know who she is?
I do.
Okay, I don't see her on your agency list as being employed there anymore. Does she not work there anymore?
Yeah, she still works there, yes. The sheriff had let her go. She had gotten to this Baker guy was picking on, not so much picking, but it's kind of a long story, but she was wanting to go to work with another agency part-time, and the sheriff told her that there was enough of part-time help here that she didn't need to worry about no extra money right now, and wouldn't let her go. Okay. Well, this Baker guy comes up and he starts telling her, well, he told me I could do this, do that, and it just ticked her off, and so her and the sheriff got into it, and I don't know if she quit or he let her go or what the case may be, but anyway, she's back to work with us and doing a good job. So since this Baker guy's been gone, we haven't had any more trouble with her at all.
Okay. So I just wanted to verify, because he did tell me, he said that he had asked you permission to go wish her a Merry Christmas, and you said go, but don't stay long.
No, that's a straight out lie.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to add or anything? I'm just basically getting statements from anybody that'll talk to me.
No, not really. I mean, as far as work-wise, when he worked, he done a good job. I mean, I can't say anything, but he's just hard-headed and wouldn't listen to what you told him, and just wanted to go out and see this young girl, and he should have been staying in town like he was told to do so.
Okay.
But other than that, he was a decent officer.
So, was there an ongoing situation with this girl then?
With which one?
The young girl, the younger one.
The one that he was going out to see?
Yes, sir.
They hadn't been dating long, or seeing each other long, but he was married, and the sheriff didn't want no deputy car out there around, none of that, with him being a married man. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
I do. I understand. So, do you know if his wife made any kind of complaints to the department?
Not about that. No. Oh. Right after we fired him, they had their pictures of all three of them together on Facebook.
Pictures of all three together, like the girlfriend, him, and
the wife. Right.
Okay. Now, I'm thinking didn't he resign? There was a resignation letter.
That's exactly right. He resigned. The sheriff, I think, had terminated him, and then the sheriff didn't want him to have no problem with being able to try to get another job or something. And so the sheriff told him that if he'd resign, he would let him resign.
Okay. And that's what I do. I have a letter of resignation from him. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, that's all I needed to know, sir, and I want to thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am. You have a blessed afternoon.
You too, sir. Bye-bye. Georgia Post Investigator Franklin.
Miss Franklin, this is Sergeant Wood again, or Jay Wood with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Department.
Yes, sir.
I meant to tell you when I was talking to you now, if you're going to believe anything this guy says, just go ahead and put a bag over your head and just smother yourself on out, because everything he says is a lie. That's another thing that we had trouble with him with. You couldn't believe nothing that he said. And so I just wanted to tell you that, and so you wouldn't have to waste too much of your time listening to what he said.
Okay. I'm basically, all I'm doing, I'm gathering. I've spoken to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and I'm just documenting what everybody says, and pretty much, everybody's pretty much saying the same thing, except, except, of course, there's a couple of people that are different. But were you aware of any kind of sexual activity on duty? Has he ever been reprimanded for that?
Hadn't been reprimanded, but there was rumors of it, but no kind of discipline or anything about it. No.
Okay. Did you hear the rumor?
I did.
Can you share that with me?
The only thing that he was just getting, having sex with a girl in the patrol car and people standing around watching it.
Okay.
And I'm sure that's what everybody else said.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Okay.
Now, I can't say that's true because that is very much hearsay. I can't say that's the truth. I don't know. I can't go there with that.
And from my understanding, when the sheriff was trying to conduct an official investigation, nobody would come in and nobody would write any kind of statements or anything for him.
Well, the only thing that he had gotten into any trouble with was when the sheriff found out. Well, I found out and I notified the sheriff that he had been out to this party and there was supposedly narcotics or drugs or whatever out there at the party. And so I called the sheriff and told him, and he spoke with the guy that had told me, so I don't know anything about no reports wrote on it or anything like that, because I know I didn't. I just went to the sheriff with it.
Okay. Yeah, when I spoke to the sheriff, he pretty much told me that there was no documentation because nobody would come in and actually physically speak with him and write a statement for him.
Right. Nobody wanted to. The guy that had made the original complaint, he didn't want to be involved, so to speak, but he was just wanting to let someone know because he's said there was a bunch of people out there and it didn't look right for this guy to be out there in uniform with a party with drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
So basically that's the same thing what the sheriff said. That's pretty well what it was.
And I appreciate you calling me back, sir. So,
all right.
You are morning watch?
Oh, no, I'm fixing to go in just a minute.
Oh, that evening shift. I don't know which one's worst.
All night shift, all night, 5:30 to 5:30.
Oh, wow, you guys work 12-hour shifts?
Yes, ma'am.
I thought the 10-hour shifts were bad enough because you never got off in 10, but I could not imagine doing 12 because you never get off on time anyway.
That's exactly right.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you be careful out there.
All right, ma'am, and y'all have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye.